right, guys, we're going to be talking about something very important today. We're going to be talking about how to remove branded seals without ripping them so you can keep them longer. Recently, we've had a lot of pretty seals, and Mike and I have been, very protective of them. So today we're talking about how to get this storm seal off of here while keeping it intact. I'm totally kidding. Today, we're going to be talking about Burn and this awesome formula for this product. We got to beta test this for a while. Got a bunch of beta samples of it. And it's a very different kind of burn product. Normally, you see fat burners that are very, thermogenic, make you hot, make you sweat, and it can ruin your day, honestly. Sometimes if I start off my videos with a hot product, then all my rest of my videos for the day are me red and sweating all over. So if you're looking for something that could keep you a little bit more in a fat burning state while not sweating through your uniform at work, and maybe even boosting your focus for your day, for school, for work, for training, or whatever, Storm Burn is a really different kind of option here that I've been enjoying a lot. Now, I've recently started to work out in the morning, and I've ironically started to use this post-workout as my pick-me-up for the day, where I would normally use like a coffee replacement or a nootropic. I've been using Storm Burn. Yes, I'm in a little bit of a mini cut because so it basically helps out with that fat burning, but I love it so much using it before my day because, well, it gets me focused for that day. So anyway, let's roll on in and get talking about Storm Burn's ingredients. Now, Storm Burn's ingredients are honestly ingredients that we've worked with for a while. We're going to be talking about some carnitines here. Let me put my laptop down there so you can see all of me. Can you tell I'm stemmed up for this video? We've got L-carnitine, L-tartrate, we've got acetylcarnitine, we've got choline, tyrosine, Neurofactor, theobromine. We've got stuff that we normally talk about, but in my opinion, in a different combination than we normally be discussing with a fat burner here. So let's start from the top and talk about what this is going to do for you. So we've got two different versions of L-carnitine here between the acetyl-carnitine and a carnitine L-tartrate. There's some small differences in here, but we're generally going to treat this as one big dose of carnitine because in general, carnitine plays a similar role no matter what the version of it is. Now, L-carnitine L-tartrate is a pretty cool ingredient for recovery. I like it a lot for athletes for that reason. And acetyl-carnitine is cool because it is an acetyl donor, which will come in useful later when we're talking about choline, ironically the next ingredient. Now, we got 1,500 milligrams of both of these. Big doses of both of these. It's actually a pretty awesome dose of both of these for fat burners. Normally, when you see carnitine liquids, they're dosed out in either 1,500 milligrams or 3 grams. So it's awesome to see that we've got a full 3 grams of here in this powder. L-carnitine in general plays a major role in energy production. It transports fatty acids into mitochondria. If you are a fan of Mean Girls, you know that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. That's going to make sure that the mitochondria is creating ATP, which is the energy currency of our entire body. Carnitine is a conditionally essential amino acid, which means that it is not entirely essential for us to get from the environment. Our body can create it, but it is helpful for us to supplement more of it, especially when we're doing demanding things like training and studying and working. And what's actually really cool about it is that even if you took half a scoop here because you don't want a ton of caffeine, there's 300 milligrams of caffeine here, which I feel like is not a lot. People are downing bangs left and right for that. But even if you took a half a scoop, you'd still be getting an efficacious amount of carnitine because you'd be getting 1,500 milligrams total here. So with everything said before, let's look a little bit more in depth on carnitine. In 2016, scientists published a meta-analysis done on randomized placebo-controlled studies and concluded specifically L-carnitine supports significantly more weight loss and BMI improvements as compared to controls. One of the studies in that meta-analysis that's good to look at, it was published in 2009, where participants took 2 grams of carnitine per day for 6 months and ultimately ended up with greater insulin sensitivity and better blood sugar response. This indicates better metabolism, which is really key to overall health and energy. Now, a lot of times we don't just talk about what the supplement does when it's supplemented, but also what happens if you don't have those things there. When you look at insulin resistance itself, it's connected to numerous different disease states as well as poor metabolism, which is not going to be helpful if you're trying to lose fat. Now, referencing a 2018 review entitled L-carnitine Supplementation in Recovery After Exercise, the researchers cite nearly 100 studies concluding that carnitine supplementation improves power, reduces soreness, boosts recovery, and increases reduces oxygen use, as well as enhances blood flow on a consistent basis. There's no reason that an athlete should not be using this. And of course, Storm's intended consumer is some of that, anti-culture, skateboarding, snowboarding, surfing type folk. They're going to be putting out a lot of power. They're going to be moving for long amounts of time, but also short sprints as well. This could be an absolutely helpful ingredient for them, in addition to helping them burn some fat and looking better on the beach. Now, specifically to acetyl L-carnitine, what's cool about it is an acetyl donor. Acetyl L-carnitine is formed with higher bioavailability and is able to cross the blood-brain barrier, which is what gives its nootropic effect. But further on that acetyl group that it's going to donate to the body can also be formed with choline, which is coming from later in choline bitartrate, to form acetylcholine, which is known as the learning neurotransmitter. This is a neurotransmitter that's depleted when you train, when you're learning, when you're having intense conversation. It's important for the body to have this, especially again if you are an athlete that's pushing yourself. So from there, we can talk about choline bitartrate here. Choline bitartrate as vitacholine is going to be a really high yield choline source. Now, when we talk about choline sources, we talk about the yield of the choline. We talk about some other effects that you may get from this. Choline bitartrate does not have a lot of other claims outside of the choline that it donates, but it donates the highest percentage out of all the choline sources on the market. The really good thing about it is that it's also the L isomer of choline bitartrate, which if you're not familiar with isomers are different versions of the same ingredient. So if you were to imagine two gloves, a left-handed and a right-handed glove, yes, they both have 1 thumb and 4 fingers, and a left-handed glove would technically fit on a right hand if you made it fit, but it wouldn't be very comfortable or usable. The L isomer for vitacholine is going to be the most biorelevant version, so when you put the glove on the hand, it fits and is usable. Now from there, we go into a few other ingredients that we are happy to see here, and it's also important to note that vitacholine here is dosed at 1,335 milligrams. That's a big dosage of choline, and we're big fans of that. From there, they go into 500 milligrams of tyrosine. Tyrosine is going to be a precursor to numerous different other neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine. This is going to be helpful for getting you in that fight or flight response, really keying you in on focus. If you are a surfer, snowboarder, skateboarder, stuff like that, it's going to help you in those motor patterns that you have to remember and be very specific to. But also, if you're in the gym, it's going to help you focus on the workout. Now, from there, we get into obviously caffeine and hydrators. Caffeine is going to be the most recognizable stimulant that we talk about. You get it in your coffee, you get it in your energy drinks. You're getting 300 milligrams of it here. 300 is the same dosage that's in a lot of popular energy cans like Bang and a lot of other ones. 300 milligrams may seem like a lot to some people. I would caution you that it's not that bad. Safety data for caffeine goes up to 12 milligrams per kilogram. There's endurance benefits, there's strength benefits, there's focus benefits. There's a lot that goes on with this. But again, like we said before, even if you took half a scoop, you'd get 150 milligrams of caffeine. You'd still be getting like 650 milligrams of vitacholine and still 1.5 grams of carnitine total. I don't think I need to explain to you what caffeine does. It's super helpful for energy and focus. I think we can move forward into Neurofactor, a very cool ingredient that we're big fans of from Futureceuticals. You got a full 100 milligrams of it here, which is going to be the efficacious dose. This ingredient produces more brain-derived neurotropic factor, one of the only ingredients that does that consistently and reliably. It's a super awesome ingredient in the acute for boosting focus, and that's one of the reasons that we're a big fan of this burn product. Is it's not just a fat burner, but it is also a nootropic. Now from there, they use another ingredient that can boost the effectiveness of the stimulants in here, theobromine. Chemically, it's pretty much the cousin of caffeine. It's very similar in nature. However, what was really cool about it is that in studies, subjects reported subjectively a better effect from stimulants when using it alongside. Now, we usually see caffeine to theobromine at either a 2-to-1 or 1-to-1 ratio. They're using a 2-to-1 ratio here. This product doesn't need to be too strong. This is a product that you can use for your day. This is a product you can use before work. You will not be sweating too much. There's no GBB. There's no grains of paradise. There's nothing in here that's going to make it too sweaty, but it will make you feel that caffeine a little bit more intensely. So maybe use this before your cardio, before your whole day, so that cardio can burn off some of that stimulants before you get to work. Now, lastly, here we have Bioprint at 5 milligrams. Bioprint is a black pepper extract. It's useful for boosting the ingredient absorption of ingredients. I can't think of any specific ingredients in this product that Bioprint is specifically studied with. Bioprint is studied with things like curcumin and a few other ingredients, but it works through, if you specific pathways of liver enzymes to make sure that ingredients stay in the body longer. It is entirely possible that it is effective for other ingredients in here. And knowing where Storm is manufactured and formulated, I have a feeling that there is something going on here that I'm just not privy to the information for. Maybe we can research this and publish another video where we talk about what it does specifically here. With all that being said, it is a simple 10-gram scoop, and that's including flavoring. It's not a lot of actives in here, but it is very specific to a very cool, nice feeling. Burn from Storm is a fat burner, but it's not going to make you burn up. And some people, that can be a bit of a pet peeve. I understand it because I like to take fat burners to get my cardio done, but I also like that experience to end when I'm done with the cardio. So something like Burn is going to help wake you up for cardio, but not make you sweat for the rest of the day. Hopefully this was helpful and informative. I do have to say we got this product for free. We do have a business affiliate relationship with Storm, but I went through the science here. I didn't offer any anecdotes here. This is a pretty non-biased video where you guys can learn something and make a more informed decision for your purchasing. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching and have a great day.